Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. All my exes live in Texas at the old Texas snake farm. Bars. Hot diggity, stereotypical bars, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monday. We come in hot on Mondays, ladies and gentlemen. Have we been tinkering with the idea of starting to release podcasts again on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Yeah, I'm just planting the seed right now in your head that is a possibility. That is on the table. But until then, we come in hot on Mondays, and maybe we'll get loosey-goosey on a Tuesday, okay? And then we'll get thirsty on Thursdays. Stupid. We'll come up with something better than that. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome. All my exes live in Texas. It's true. And I went and visited them yesterday at the snake farm. Boom roasted. All right. To be honest, I don't really have any snaky exes. I'm sure there's a few out there. There's a few stragglers out there, little serpents in the grass. But that's what life is all about. You know, this whole thing where people, like, I post it because it's a joke. But these people who just have hate for their ex, and you know, especially like when you were young, we were all dumb as shit. You know, that's why you have relationships, is because you just learn how to not be stupid with them. You know, like you just, you know, there's like the training wheels relationship, and you're like, okay, can't bring that one on to the next one. You know, that move's not going to work. And you just keep it moving, pimping. You know, that's what life's all about. Life is about just keeping it moving. But I did go to the snake farm. Listen, I've been making it a point every weekend to do something different, go to a new place, just take it all in. That's the beautiful thing about coming to a brand new area, is you just walk in and you go, what do you got? Give me all your good shit. I stop people like I am a Pokemon trainer or in The Legend of Zelda. And I stop people on the street and just talk to them. And I'm like, where is your favorite place to eat? You know, that's just what I do. You know how in Legend of Zelda or Pokemon, you just walk by random people and you just go up to them and start talking. And sometimes they give you gold and sometimes they don't. You know, a lot of times people are just like, I don't know, Whataburger. Listen, I don't know what it is. Maybe someone told me that Whataburger wasn't that good, but I just haven't had the inclination to go to Whataburger yet. Maybe, you know, I'll make it a point to try Whataburger and I'll report back with my findings. Is Whataburger as good as they say? Maybe I'll make a video of it. I'll review eating Whataburger and give you what I think of it, because, you know, it's Texas's version of In-N-Out. You know, that's the comparison. And I'll be honest with you, In-N-Out's pretty fucking good. Is In-N-Out worth sitting in a line of 80 cars? Not in a fucking heartbeat. No, there's no way. I will never go to In-N-Out if there's more than 7 cars. All right. I go, fuck this. I'm going to Mickey D's. All right. Because at least I'm not going to have to wait in a line to get that heart attack from McDonald's. All right. Listen, the Big Mac, it's not that bad. All right. That is a delicious, weirdly small waste of cardboard boxed burger. Okay. But being in Texas right now, I have gone on adventures every weekend. All right. And yesterday I went to New Braunfels Snake Farm Exotic Park. Okay. It says Snake Farm and in Wildlife Zoo. And listen, that place knocked my dick in the dirt. And that is a metaphor. Okay. There was no dirtage on my reproductive organs. Okay. We're cleaning up the podcast. Okay. Listen, I looked on Google reviews, and this is a place that I've seen off the side of the freeway. This is something to the likes of, you see Cabela's off the freeway, and you go, ooh, I want to stop and look at Cabela's. You know, that's just what you do. That's what I do. When I see a Cabela's, I go, obviously I need to stop there. It's as if I am a fish out of water and I see a body of water. Obviously, I got to go to Cabela's. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen this snake farm place, and finally I'm like, let's just go see those goddamn snakies. And it did not let me down. And the Google reviews were great. And listen, you start getting into dicey, murky waters when you start looking at some of these animal parks, okay? I'm not blind or, ignorant to the view. Is this the best situation for these animals? Am I fueling a black market economy? Well, technically no, because I could go out and buy all these animals, okay? I could. That's just how free Texas is. You move into Texas, you get a free tiger with it. Tiger's going to set you back about $500. That's a base price for your regular, basic, common white people golden retriever, okay? Do golden retrievers even have taste buds? I know they have Airbud bars. But listen, when I saw they had large animals, they had a white lion, I started thinking to myself, okay, now I've seen Tiger King. Now I've seen, these documentaries on these resorts and places that have these big cats where they're just not taking good care of them. Now, we'll start with the snake farm. You walk in, it's like a luxurious Petco, all right? They have tons of aquariums. They have one side of the wall behind a metal fence, like this is goddamn Jurassic Park, and for good reason, okay? Behind there, they had the top 10 most deadly poisonous snakes in the world. Okay, we're talking pit vipers. We're talking black mambas. We're talking rattlesnakes, king cobras, bars, snaky bars. They got everything you could ever think of. And here's something crazy that happened when we were looking at all these snakes. Now, there is genetic code in each person. And when people have phobias, it's normally because of something passed down through your genetic code, your ancestors, of what they had to deal with. People are scared of the dark, usually kind of a thing where your ancestors came up in the jungle. They come up during in a location, a geographical situation where there was jaguars and panthers and things in the dark that they should have been scared of. They weren't necessarily pilgrims. Listen, my dad was born in a house that had dirt floors out in the El Yunque, the rainforest of Puerto Rico. Jaguars weren't a thing there. So I don't really have a fear of the dark. But what I do have, and I realize it, I do have something with snakes, but it's only venomous snakes. And walking through and looking at these very venomous snakes did something to my DNA, where I felt like almost a sense of panic of like, there's something. You ever, when rooms feel werewolfy? I got this sixth sense where I can like kind of know when something weird's about to go down, where it's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. My werewolfy sense went off, my spidey sense. And I just got that feeling like, I don't really like this that much. And it was seeing all these very venomous snakes. But after, 5-10 seconds, that's how long it lasted. I kind of shut it down and I was like, look, they got a goddamn fence here. And it's crazy to just look at. But it was nuts just to see that many. And then you go on the other side, they have like toucans, they have alligators, all this stuff, all indoors, And I felt a little weird because I'm like, okay, these toucans can't see sunlight. That's a little weird. Hopefully they take them out, let them get some goddamn vitamin D. We're in a pandemic. Coronavirus, doesn't do well against vitamin D. But I also don't know the situation. Did I research this place and see if, they were doing conservation and all this stuff? Yes, allegedly. And I thought so. And that's another thing is you look at the staff and how they treat the animals and everything. I get my peepers on them, all right? When they don't think anybody's watching, I like to observe and just see how do you interact with these animals. And I saw loving relationships. But one thing that blew me away, I saw more in this off the freeway spot, Okay, this is a historical spot in Texas. It's not very big at all. You know, I went through the whole place in like 45 minutes to an hour. It wasn't even the size, it may be a football field, if that, not even. I saw more animals in that time period than I ever saw at the San Diego Zoo. Okay. You know how it's like you go there and you can't even see the animals. The lion doesn't want anything to do with you. It doesn't care. You paid $45 for that ticket. It's going to show you its tail. You're going to barely see that bullshit hanging out behind a fucking plant. And you ever seen that? I think I've seen more of the backs of animals at the zoo than ever anything else. You know, it's just always a weird thing where you're like, oh, look, that's its back. That's its spinal column. I think that's its C4. It's sleeping and it's just there for 20 minutes. Wow, look at that. The backside of a lion, you know? And then always when you're walking away, you hear in a distance, that was a goddamn great line, okay? I don't have any reverb, no effects on this, no filters. You thought a goddamn lion was in here. That's happened at the zoo. But here's the thing, at this place, I got front row seats. They had all these animals, like, you know, big cats, hyenas, gray wolf, mountain lion, bison. They had everything, jaguars, pumas, panthers, leopard. They had everything in there. They even had a goddamn petting zoo. Otters. Listen, they had everything. Camels, bison, peacocks. Peacocks were just chilling, walking around. They had chickens just chilling. Monkeys, lemurs. They got everything, okay? You get the point that I'm making. I would have never expected this. But I got to see everything. It was my money's worth. And it was going towards conservation. Like I said, I did research. Was it great research? No, but I got what I wanted, okay? But what the wildest thing to me was all the predators were in the same place. Like, a lion was in the middle of these cages, and to its right is a gray wolf. On the other side are hyenas, its mortal enemy. On the other side is a mountain lion. So it's just like you're squaring off all day against all these other apex predators that before you came, they probably didn't even think they existed. I thought about that. What if I brought my dog here and she got to see a goddamn lion? Her fucking little doggy brain would go, just burst. She wouldn't know what to do. She was tripping the fuck out when she saw a baby mountain lion. Imagine if she saw a fucking full-grown lion just go, you know? Blow her goddamn noodle. All right? But do I like these places? I like zoos. When you know, we had Lauren on the podcast, and you get to see these zookeepers and these experts with animals that they care so much about preservation and conservation. I think it's conservation. Yeah. Preservation, like they're preserving the animals in a jar, like they're jam or some shit. Might taste good. They care so much about the animals, and it's usually like a rehab situation or they're not doing good in the wild. And it's a crazy situation because when you start thinking about animal conservation, you start thinking, okay, well, everything has a natural order to things. Animals fade away out of, you know, they go extinct naturally. But a lot of these animals they're not going naturally. It's because of humans' interaction with nature and, you know, the shit we do with resources. But, you know, I'm not here to preach and get $1 from you or something for my fund. Not trying to, you know, save the rainforest. I mean, passively, I'll save the rainforest, but it's not like I wake up every day and I'm like, how can I save the rainforest? But it was quite an experience to see all those kind of animals all in the same place in such a small area. Blew my mind, to be honest with you. I do see those places. I really like the wildlife park in San Diego because I like the idea of almost animals being free range animals. I like them to actually have habitats that are very similar to where they would live in nature, and kind of have opportunities to get their their natural fulfillment and their urges out. It was crazy because they had this leopard and a chicken. They just had chickens walking around this place. A chicken started walking by one of the cages, and I saw the leopard lock its eyes onto it. And it just went so primal where I was like, oh, it's hunting. It's hunting. It sees this and it's like, oh shit. But it's sad when you see there's no, I'll be honest, the lions looked a little glazed over, where they were just like, man, like looking at me, I was like, they're just so numb to this experience, and they get fed at a certain time. They don't have to hunt. And I feel like all of that has dopamine rushes for any animal, any species, at least any of the smart ones. I look at camels and zebra and I'm just like, y'all probably like it here. Y'all just get to hang out. You're not primates or anything. Y'all just get to kind of graze and live peacefully. You get water. You get to, I don't know, swing around a peacock every now and then when it tumbles into your cage. But the primates kind of like bum me out, because I'm just like, man, you look so intelligent and you're just a person hanging out. But I don't know. That's also me putting human emotions on animals. I forgot what that's called. But ladies and gentlemen, I had a good time. All right. I had a good time there. I would go again, maybe, eventually. I did get bit by a mosquito, and for some reason, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get dengue or some weird Ebola. You got weird wild animals from other countries. Mosquito bites them, then bites me. That's how I get it. Okay, so this might be the beginning of the end. These are going to be the slow decline of the podcast, all right? But we're here for it, okay? At the end of the day, we're fucking here for it. But how you guys doing? Thanks to everybody. A few people have reached out over the past week, enjoying the podcast. It's always nice to hear. I know I can't even, I'm not even going to say it, but things are always going to get better, okay? We're always going to keep evolving, and this is going to be the greatest hub for your podcast experience that you can ever get, all right? Moving on. I saw this. It blew my mind. People are so ridiculous. Disneyland is under scrutiny, and they're trying to cancel Disneyland now because of the part in the Snow White ride. Apparently, I don't even know if there's a ride, but they went there and they saw the Snow White depiction where she is kissed when she is sleeping without consent. And it's problematic. And now they want Disneyland to rethink their approach and to change it. What the fuck? All right? What the fuck is actually going on? No one cares that Prince Eric is trying to fuck a fish, half woman, an amphibious woman, if you will. Okay, no one has a problem with that. Sleeping Beauty. Okay, we don't have a problem that this witch fucking roofied her. Okay. It's just, this isn't a problem. This is what we do. It's also so ridiculous because I was reading the article about it. It is part of a college class, these teachers. This is what's so weird about academia, is you have these super liberal ideologies of teachers now trying to like teach the next. It's literally a lot of time of people not in the real world, and like the echo chamber of these ideas of never experiencing life. You just went to school, you were in your little shelter there, then you got your master's degree, and then you got your doctorates, and now you're teaching at a prestigious college without any real world experience. And not only that, and the reason why I say that, it's safe to say that, it's actually not safe to say anything in this world, but it's safe to say that because when you live in the real world, you have cause and effect. You see what is actually able to be applied, and not these ideology. Ideology does not work in the real world. It's something you could strive for in reality, but you can't you have to look at cause and effect and where the next step goes. Okay. And part of this thing, the reason why this ride came under scrutiny was because this teacher has been sending her students to Disneyland and having them try to pick apart anything that they deem problematic. What could be considered problematic? Dude, if you walk around with a hammer, everything's going to seem like a nail. Bars, okay? It's so crazy just to be looking for shit like that. But I'm interested to see how it plays out. I really am. Because none of this stuff is sustainable. I feel like this cancel culture, and I hate even talking about it because I feel like it's just such an easy grab, but I also love talking about it, if I'm being honest, because it's such a weird thing. It's low-hanging fruit just to attack cancel culture. But like this whole word police and the inability to change is what the issue is canceling people and not letting people redeem themselves, or canceling them over something from the past and not understanding what the past was. I feel like that's a big thing, is not looking at things from their time and being like, well, that was acceptable and that was, something that was during that era. Not that I'm saying Snow White was okay during that era. And it's not even that I'm saying that Snow White was a bad thing. I feel like that's just such a silly thing to attack, is to go like, Disneyland, you need to cancel this. Fuck all these real world problems that we have. You need to stop doing this. It's like, the big gripe that I have is all the virtue signal of wanting things to change. It's very easy to get likes on virtue signal. It's very easy to take that position and to be an ally and to do all this shit without actually ever really doing anything. It's the easiest thing to do, is to virtue signal for a cause on social media. It's a fucking phenomenal marketing tactic if you're a business. It's got to be one of the grossest, but it's such low-hanging fruit when it comes to marketing. And that was like the huge thing I saw, like with the Black Lives Matter, with like Nike and everything like that. It's so weird to me that these companies will virtue signal with this, but it's like, yeah, but we're still going to run our sweatshops and do all of this stuff over here. Yeah, but it's great for marketing. And it's like all these companies that are doing terrible shit in the dark put up the shield of virtue signal before anybody looks into them. And that's like something that you've seen a lot, is people when they're like, why aren't you supporting this cause? Do you not care about this? Do you not care about that? And it's like that guilt, with it, when it's just like, when people just blindly put allegiance into shit that they don't really know about, it's such a weird thing. And it's why the shit snowballs out of control. But anyway, why the fuck are we talking about this shit? Start talking about Snow White and how silly people are at Disneyland. But listen, I love Disneyland. I love it. It's one of my great things that I'll miss about California. But here's the great thing. I just go visit. Stay in a Magic Castle. I actually fuck with the California Adventure one. That hotel with the big fireplace, nice cabin looking hotel. Listen, you don't stay there because that place is expensive as fuck. What you do is you go to somewhere down the block. You get an Uber in the morning to Disneyland. That's what I did. I avoided the fees. I'd go stay at like a Holiday Inn. And then all I do is I call an Uber in the morning, pay $10 to get dropped off at the Disneyland entrance. Boom. And get picked up at the end. There's no trams. There's no traffic. There's no having to walk to Disneyland. $20 there and back. That's what I do, baby. That's a pro tip for you right there. But those turkey legs, listen, I know I say a lot about chicken wings. I know it. Something that is right up there with chicken wings and was kind of my big thing before chicken wings, turkey legs, okay? But here's the thing. Turkey legs can be hit or miss depending on where you get them, okay? Sometimes I eat a turkey leg because it's a big investment. It's a big investment to eat a turkey leg. It is a big, big leg, all right? Sometimes you get a turkey leg from a place that doesn't have a good turkey leg. You feel like, wow, I will never be able to get that experience back. And not only that, I am uncomfortably full, you know? But the best turkey leg, hands down, Disneyland turkey leg. Disneyland turkey leg. I'll get one of those and I just walk around proudly eating that thing till I get down to the bone, okay? Getting looked at by all these vegans and everything. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Walk out, watch out. There's an apex predator coming through, okay? Probably couldn't do much then because I got a belly full of turkey leg, all right? And the salsa that they give it with you. It's going to be a matter of time before eating turkey legs in front of vegans is a microaggression. It's just facts. Oh yeah, there was that thing. You remember the vegan teacher I talked about on the podcast a while back? She got exposed having chicken in her cart while she was at the grocery store. The shit people do for fame. To say you are something as gross as a vegan just for your 10 minutes of fame on TikTok. But if she's trolling, like if she's like a satire actor or performer, and she's like, I want to take on this character of the vegan teacher, she is nailing it. You know how there's some characters in movies where you're like, I hate this person? She's doing phenomenal at making people hate her. But I hope that's real. We'll double check that for you. There was this article that came out. A missing Utah woman found living in a national forest reportedly wanted solitude and isolation. Listen, I get it, lady. Okay, I get it. How long was this woman was missing, was found living in a national forest earlier this week. Reportedly told authorities she was in need of an escape. Well, she maintained her anonymity. The Utah County Sheriff's Office told Fox News a woman's been living off the land in Diamond Fork for 5 months because she wanted solitude and isolation. Wow. Does she have a family or anything? This is impressive. She has mental health struggles. Okay, she lost a considerable amount of weight and was weak. And despite having mental health struggles, she was released a day later. Listen, she was just doing her own form of the show Alone. That's all that is. 5 months of living off nature. I say that like it's impressive, and homeless people are like, hey, hold my heroin for a second. I'll show you impressive. I've been living here down by the river for 4 years. No one's wrote an article about me, except how I'm ruining the economy. That's about it. That's crazy. She needed peace and quiet, basically. Solitude and isolation. Kind of the same thing. Didn't need to say both of them. I don't know how I would do in a situation like that. That much solitude and isolation. I don't think people are meant for that at all. I think we're a very tribal people. Like, you need your tribe. You need interactions with humans. You shouldn't be like, I think it's one of those things where it's been proven that like our health will deteriorate if we get too isolated from people, get cabin fever, and just you really don't connect, which is why it's dope, podcasts and everything like that, is because in some situations people can have a connection with humans and these ideas without, having to suffer from those feelings of depression or solitude or feeling lonely. You can make connections. I think podcasts are powerful like that. Especially if you live, like, that's what's beautiful about technology and about everything going on. if we don't fuck up and just completely obliterate our species, it's going to be phenomenal. Like the advances we're making with technology, the things that we're learning, how much better every generation is than the previous ones. As long as we can get a handle on the fact that we have a goddamn wand. I always say this. A smartphone, it makes you a wizard. You can ask any question of the universe and it's in your hand. But instead, we like to watch people have sex with it. Like that's what most people are doing. It's just bullshit. We're watching people just do whatever. Just mindless, numbing dopamine rushes. As long as we can get a handle on that shit, I think we're going to do amazing shit as a species. I'm fascinated with Elon Musk. He was on SNL. I thought he did okay. I didn't think it was bad. You know, SNL in general is pretty bad now. Like it's just such hot dog water comedy to me. But there's a few funny skits, but it was phenomenal back in the day. But they were like saying that Elon Musk was problematic. But it's so silly, like people. But in reality, Elon Musk fascinates me. Like the idea, like that's the only reason I want to live forever, is to be able to see where humans are at in the next like 250 years. If we get off the planet, oh, it's going to be amazing. That would be so dope if we start living on Mars and then venturing out and having these like space stations and we literally became a multi-planetary species, a multi-planet species. Why am I trying to make it sound so much cooler than it is? I'll be honest. Elon Musk asked me to go to Mars and to live there. And he's like, hey, you're not going to be able to come back. Let's go, homie. Let's go. I'll do the podcast from Mars. I don't give a shit. Yeah, fuck yeah. Of course I'm going to go live on Mars. Be part of the first, maybe the second generation there. That first generation is probably going to die from like some air leak or something. Like they're going to be the cautionary tale that makes it okay for the next generation. And then like, because if I go with that first regime, I'm going to get blown up or something, an air leak. Then they're going to build a statue of me. And then in 30 years, the fucking next generation is going to tear down my statue. Something I said was problematic. Okay. I'm going to get canceled on Mars for shit I said on Earth. Okay. It's going to be a matter of time though. You know, when people, like if someone is born on Mars, they're technically a Martian. Isn't that wild? The species would be human, right? But I mean, we don't call people Earthlings until we got more planets. And then that's going to be crazy because it's going to be a matter of time before planets deviate, you know, just the way countries have. They're just, you know, they go into world war and shit. I'm talking world war here, okay? Listen, people get weird with borders and dividing lines. Obviously, borders with different countries, you gotta secure the borders, okay? I'm not an open border kind of guy, just for stability reasons, all right? We gotta have some kind of balance here, laws, a social hierarchy that we all agree upon, all right? If not, we would just maul old people all the time and take all their resources as soon as we could, all right? But then for them, they would have just been killing babies instantly. You get what I'm saying? We need laws and balance. God, that was dark. That was real dark. It would be a matter of time before Earth and Mars went to war, especially if resources start depleting on one side and there's not enough, you know? Everybody's cool until they get hungry, you know? Everybody's cool until you get hungry. And then you get a little hangry, and then you're like, nah, we don't want to ship you that fucking bread. Send us some of that goddamn moon water, and we'll talk about it. And then we're like, nah, man, we're up here on Mars. We need the goddamn moon water to balance out our fucking lack of vitamin D from the sun. I don't know. I haven't been there yet. I don't know what some of the deficiencies we're going to develop. I'm just going to start talking like I'm going to Mars to wish it, want it, the secret it into belief, you know? But it's weird that people get, you know, like when people are saying, don't Texas my California, don't California my Texas. I don't know. It's always weird to me. Where you're born, people get so prideful about it. As me, the most prideful half Puerto Rican there ever was. To the point where you don't want other people to come in. Like, that's why I never understood racism. Maybe it's because I'm a mixed mutt, you know, where I'm just like, I'm the product of anti-racism. But it's just so weird how quick we deviate from who people are based on where they were born. And then it's like the entitlement of what plot of land you are. When people are like, I was born and raised here. You know, my family died here. This is my spot. We don't need more people coming in. It's just an odd hill to die on, literally. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the podcast today. I hope you got something from it. If anything, just leave with the metaphor, if you got a hammer, everything looks like the nail. I think that was the gem of the podcast. All right. We'll be back Wednesday with a guest. If you haven't, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, smash that like button, as the kids say. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, take a moment. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. More stuff's going to be coming up here soon. I got a show, when is that? May 28th in Austin. If you're local, feel free to reach out for details. I'll be posting about that. And remember, no matter what, I still love you.